Oh, sound's back. Some saying no sound. Welcome back to the match reaction to Tottenham 6, Leicester 2. So what I want from you, Marlon, is a very instant match reaction, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so instant match reaction, go.
Sonny.
Yay! What did you make of that? I mean, a Sonny hat-trick, Spurs struggling 3-2 a little bit, and then he just comes on and just basically says, you know what, fuck you.
Yeah, no, it was, if you watched us through that watch along, you could see the stress on our faces because of how bad we were playing. Not badly playing, but it wasn't great. But the way it finished is a gem because the passing got quicker. It looked better.
Yep.
It looked a bit like how we were against Everton and Newcastle last year. Only a little bit, but he changed formation, which was important. And Basuma coming on.
That's the thing. You credit it to Basuma actually coming on, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think looking at it, he'd be my man of the match. And I think a lot of people are going to give it Sonny. You score a hat trick.
Yeah, of course.
But as a 90-minute period, you could break that game up into 3 different slots, and we were good for the first half an hour. You know, had controlled the game.
Yeah,
we completely lost our way a little bit. Thank God for the Ndidi's mistake.
Yes,
because then we lost it in the second half.
Yeah, but
then as soon as he made the subs, you know, it kind of we just went flat a little bit, and then Basuma came on, and we were, you know, just putting Son and Kane up the top. Just seemed to have done the tricks, and you can't complain.
So I mean, this is the thing. Conte turned around and has said a couple of times, Basuma's not ready.
Yep.
We also know that Basuma did get COVID as well. So that can affect a player's return from that kind of condition. It can slow it down and, you know, take time. So.
Yep.
How much of what Conte has been saying, in your view, is the facts of the case? Not saying he's a liar, but more that he might have been playing a game, be it with Basuma's mind or with Leicester's mind?
Or is he? It's a very good question, because you'll find a lot of people will go, some of the comments he says, does he really need to say them? Is he protecting his players? Is he protecting Spence? And he has to say one thing, and actually behind closed doors, he's telling Spence a complete different thing. The fact he brought on Basuma today said a lot, because actually he wasn't bringing him on before, and he wasn't changing formation. The problem he's got now is that every Spurs fan said play 3-5-2.
Yes, it's true. Well, I mean,
and he's, you know, I think a lot today he was trying to prove a lot what's been going on in the media. And you know what? I think the club or people around the club, or, you know, there'll be a lot of stuff they going, oh, we don't watch the YouTube stuff, we don't listen to what's in the media. But
I think they do.
But they must have an inkling, and
they do.
Especially social media, the social media world. Conte will know what a lot of fans have been saying, and we're crying out. And it's not even been, it's been both sides of the toss of the coin, where you've got people that love what the club are doing saying, actually, we need to change formation, he's being stubborn. People that don't like what the club are doing saying exactly the same thing. So actually, that's where we're all together. But it's worked out today.
Today it's worked out. Obviously, you know, Sonny getting that hat trick is fantastic. I think we've got a super chat here, which I do actually want to address, and I want to take it seriously. So from Matwan, Son has shut all the haters and racists up. Okay, Matwan, we don't hate Sonny, and we're certainly not racist, and I actually resent the implication. All right.
Yeah.
The idea that because you criticize him that makes you a racist is not really something that we want to hear on this channel. Okay. I'm from an ethnic minority. Marlon, I don't know what you identify as.
Wow. I identify as Son right now.
There you go. Right. We're not racists here. Okay. We love Sonny, and we don't love him because he's South Korean. We love him because he plays for Spurs, and we don't want him not to play because we hate South Koreans or that we hate him. It's because we wanted something to change for him to go back to that amazing player that he was, and we all knew he was.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, yeah. Which is, we're hoping what he's done today. As you noticed, I'm sure there isn't a single person out there who didn't celebrate all 3 of Sonny's goals. Yeah, who's a Spurs fan, who's a proper Spurs fan. Okay, so can we please, all of us, put this ridiculous point away? Those that criticize Sonny are not racist and don't hate him, and those that support him are not Son fans only, which is the other side of the argument.
Oh, of course, yeah. You got to put that in, yeah.
Can we all please put this away? And that's all I'm going to say. Marlon, anything you want to say to that?
No, it's just, you got to look at it. Football's played with 11 men. If Son's not performing, you know, fortunately for us, we had options this year. You would have seen it a lot last year. We didn't have the option, so Son had to play through it. But as you can see by the celebrations, even by us two on here, we was a bit emotional when he got that third one, and we were willing him on because sometimes footballers need a break.
Yeah,
and a lot of people won't see that. I think, you know, if Son come out and said he needed a break from South Korea when the national team, how, you know, people, he wouldn't, but it's a case of sometimes, you know, flying here and everywhere, playing matches week in, week out,
absolutely
does get on a player's back. And actually Son wasn't performing to the way we know, his national team know.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, you know, if a lot of people would have seen his game and gone, that's not him.
Yes, it wasn't him.
The reason why no one was saying sell it, people saying sell him was
just stupid.
Yeah, that's just, you know.
Then, and to be honest, the majority of them won't be Spurs fans. There'll be people trolling, wanting Spurs fans to react.
Full trolls, yeah.
You know, don't react.
No.
It's stupid. You know, Son, laugh at the twats who say stuff like that.
But Son is an incredible player, and today, even like I was willing him on.
Of course.
To be honest, I didn't want him dropped, but I've been proven wrong. I have actually been proven wrong today because he actually got dropped. He got a bit of fire in his belly. And he's gone and scored a hat-trick. And
for me, and that's the thing, for me, it wasn't a case of he has to be dropped. For me, I was thinking to myself, what else can be done to maybe get a reaction? Because it doesn't seem to be working. And I said, it's Conte's decision. He's the one who sees the player every day. He's the one who, you know, sees him in training, talks to him, and will have a greater insight as to what's going through his mind. If Conte thinks that playing him is the right option, that's his call to make. That's what he's paid £20 million a year for. You know, we're not paid $20 million a year to do that, so it's not our decision. We're just speculating. Anyone who says drop Sonny is ultimately just really saying maybe dropping Sonny is what he needs.
And it's been proven right today.
It's been proven right today.
It's been proven right. And it's, the unfortunate or fortunate thing, it's been proven right. So you get them games during the season. I bet you at some point, like I said earlier, Salah went through the same thing. But obviously Liverpool don't have a backup like we do. On the wings.
Liverpool are in trouble with Mane going. I just just very quickly, Matt one has dropped in another super chat. I want to correct myself. I did not mean that you guys stroke all haters are racist. I only said that some certain racists on social media has been shut up. Do you know what, Matt one? Look, these people out there who make these things, they don't care about what Sonny does. They don't care about things. It just happens to be that he's South Korean and it's an excuse for them. They will pick someone else at some point. Okay, the problem we had is that a lot of us as Spurs fans got drawn into this. Got drawn into because there is always in every group discussion there's sides that don't want to actually look at the nuance of what the other side is saying. With like, myself and Marlon, for instance, none of us, if you gave us the option of saying Sonny will play well and will stay in the team, or Sonny will play badly and be dropped, which do you think we're going to pick? We're going to pick he plays well and stays in the team. We want him to play. He's one of the best players in the world. Why wouldn't we want him to do well if you're a true Spurs fan? Those people that will use that thing to make racist comments, those people that come on and troll and, you know, say, oh, I'm a Spurs fan, but I think we should sell Son, or I think we should get rid of Conte. They're not real Spurs fans, you know, because they're not putting the club first. Whatever is best for the club is what you should want. And they're not looking at the bigger picture at the end of the day. It's people, it's reactionary fans, if they are fans, and people that just think, I'll say this because it's going to get likes and tweets. And it's just the thing to say at the time. But actually, there's a lot of Spurs fans who have a level head and would have been like, okay, maybe he needs to come out one game, but Sonny's still our man. Absolutely. So just very quick, there was another super chat I missed. Bear with me a second. Here we go. Andrew Dean says, one up for Rez. Shut those hate speeches down. Stop assuming people being racist, sexist, etc. Yeah, I mean, look, we again, going off the topic of Spurs, just in generally, we do have a tendency, everyone, to sort of want to win an argument. And so sometimes people will say stuff that they don't actually really mean. Let's all remember that ultimately, whatever your stripe, whatever you believe is best for the club, you want the best for the club. Okay? Spurs comes first. whatever works for the club is what we all really want at the end of the day. Whether we agree on what that approach is a different story. But the thing that unifies us is far greater than the thing that divides us, is what I will say to you all.
Of course. Right? Well said.
Anyway, back to the match. Right. So first half, obviously we went 3-2 up. We were winning, okay?
Yes.
But it was almost like clawing through the desert towards an oasis almost, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's the weird. That's why the scoreline's kind of, if you know, if you've come in from work or you've gone, oh, Spurs won 6-2, that must have been an easy game for them. You know. and Leicester's defence crumbled, the goalkeeper crumbled, and we made a substitution that just killed them off. And that's the thing. For the 60 minutes, it was probably quite even. Yeah. And if it stayed 2-2,
you would have thought that was a fair reflection.
Result. Yeah, it was a fair reflection. Actually, Ndidi making a mistake is, you know, they didn't deserve that at the time, but they did. And this is what happens in the Premier League. You get punished for little mistakes like that, like Sanchez did in the first minute. So, yeah, glad to get the win. But, yeah, that Basuma substitution for me was the one that got us over the line today. Yeah. Sonny will probably get a lot of the praise and deservedly gets the praise today.
Absolutely.
But we need to look at what Basuma and Conte actually go in. Let me try something.
Will there also, in your view, I'm going to cite something specific. When Sonny scored his first goal, it looked like, obviously it was all close-ups on him, so we couldn't tell for certain, but it looked like every other Spurs fan, apart from Lloris, went up to him to congratulate. That's because Lloris hates Sonny. No, he doesn't. It's because he's in goal. Every player seemed to go up to him and was actually making a deal of the fact that he'd scored again, which to me suggests that there's something that they were aware of that was the problem. But Sonny sort of breaking that duck, do you think that might have an effect on other players as well? Do you think they might take something from the fact that he's got back to where he was potentially from that game?
I tell you what will be interesting to see how Kane comes off this. Because, again, I wouldn't say Kane had his best game.
No.
But Kane will do Kane things in games, and you just can't really drop him because he's not the worst player on the pitch. But he's not up to the standard that we all put him on. So it'll be very interesting now to see, actually, if Son's on form, whether Kane suddenly becomes on form because the players around him are now a lot better and they seem to be more happy with what's going on. So he will be the most interesting one out of the whole squad. But yeah, I think the rest of the team, I don't think it really matters, if I'm being honest. I think a lot of them are just going to play exactly the same way, and
especially Emerson.
I think it's going to make a big change to the front three. Kulu's been trying to do it on by himself, but actually if he now has the other two now pulling along with him.
Well, don't you think that maybe if the rest of the team sort of see that front three, you know, they're in a way they're talismanic for Spurs. You know, we pride ourselves on the fact that these three are amongst the most dangerous in the league. Would they not take some confidence in that, saying, you know, these three are back?
Yeah, they will. And I think just going by Højbjerg's ball at the end for Sonny's goal, he probably wasn't doing that for the rest of the game. And it was literally quick thinking, forward. Benton Core, when he played it, he played it across the sun? Tried to play it across the sun. Again, he weren't thinking like that in the first half. So you're probably right. Actually, the team will have the midfield, it will have a positive effect on the midfielders who actually think they can play it quicker because they know that the front three are going to actually hold the ball.
Actually going to be taking
it. And they're going to be in the positions that they kind of want them to be in.
No, that's fair enough. Excuse me. Obviously, we can't ignore Leicester. 7 games, 1 point. If they lose another game, they will have fewer points after 8 games than we did when we sacked Juan de Ramos.
It's an interesting one, Leicester. Looking at that squad, they're good enough. They are good enough. There are worse teams than them. They've had a horrid fixtures in the last 8 games, as I said earlier. The problem is that they're not playing for Rodgers. And the issue you've got right now is if they sack him, they've got to do it tomorrow. And they've got to bring in someone in the space of this international break before they come back on the 1st of October. If they don't do that, I think it might be curtains for Leicester. Yeah, I can't see them coming back from this.
If they don't sack him, if they keep faith with him, how long do you think he can last?
The World Cup.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, it's... Yeah, and you analyse it then, and then you've got November and December to decide actually what are we going to do as a club.
Amazing.
And hopefully there'd be more managers, you know, that have been, and I think that's probably the major thing right now. Leicester are looking at who the hell's out there.
Well, who
like everyone's going, let's get Conte out. Let's be honest, who are you going to bring in? So
Pochettino?
Pochettino probably would be made for Leicester right now. And if he went there, I wouldn't begrudge him, and he'd be perfect for them.
Yeah,
I think he could get that team playing.
Yeah,
I think the defense would probably be a little bit better, but they'd be more. They'd be better at holding the ball and a bit more quicker than what they're doing, and it won't be too much against what they've been learning for the last 2-3 years under Rodgers. So
they've got the makings of a competent team. They're not going to be challenging for Europe with that squad, but they've still got that. I mean, look, hate him or hate him, Maddison is a talented footballer.
I think their biggest problem is Vardy. They haven't replaced him in the sense of he was playing, he was old, and he was probably playing beyond his years, and they tried to replace him, and they just never did. And it was always going to catch up with them. And it finally has, because he's not even playing now. Injuries are coming in and things like that. Maddison is a good player, but who's he feeding?
Yes, of course. No, I mean you can't expect a Maddison to be the one to actually win you the game, or win you the games by himself. He needs an outlet. Okay, so yeah. To sum up,
thank you, son. Thank you, Basuma. They're the two that I'm going to be shouting out today. It was subs, but this comes back to the whole thing on Tuesday. The substitutions came on and scored against us. We were a lot better. The subs were a lot better today, and that's what we've got to learn from. What did you think of the subs today?
I thought they were good. I mean, obviously, as I said, you know, there was pain in my chest when Emerson's number was held up. But yeah, I think the first sort of tranche, or the first and second tranches, it was like trying to say, right, go out there and do it, and I want to see how it works, because the sort of Basuma substitution came quite soon after that double one that he did with Son and I've forgotten who else it was. Romero coming on. That's right. I mean, I agree with you. I think Basuma really did change the game. That he injected something into the midfield that was missing. And so, yeah, who knows? Maybe we're going to revert to a 5-3-2. Maybe that's the way we're going to go. You know?
But then, you take Kulu out of the situation, and this is the headache he's got to have, and he's got to manage the games better. Would I do it against Arsenal? I don't know. Right now, I couldn't tell you which formation I'd want to play, but I think Kulu. I think Kulu might be able to play centrally. But will he drop Højbjerg, or he's going to drop Højbjerg, or
I don't think he has to. Look, if he plays a 3-5-2, you got your three central defenders. You got your two wing backs. And then in the middle you got three. So you could still have, say, Højbjerg, Basuma, just to pluck names out. Højbjerg, Basuma, Kulusevski. One game, and then the next game you have Bentancur, you know, Højbjerg, Basuma. You know, he's got more options there. I think it's really a question of whether or not Kulu can play centrally. You've also got to then factor in, you know, Richarlison, Son and Kane, you know, as the sort of partnership up front. I think there are options there. I think he's probably got more options if he plays a 3-5-2 than if he plays a 3-4-3. Whether or not that's what he's going to do, we don't know. Thank you to you, Marlon, for joining me. Do please go to Marlon's channel, A View from the South Stand. Like and subscribe. There's some great content on there. And if you're not tired out from doing that, go over to Shelfside Spurs Show as well and click the like and subscribe buttons there.
Yes, get him 1,000 so he can do the challenge.
So I can do the challenge.
If you
absolutely.
haven't seen the chili challenge on that channel, it's worth it.
Go and watch our 500 subscriber video. You will not be disappointed. I was disappointed. Actually, I was in pain, but yes, that was there. So hopefully the 1,000 challenge will be as interesting. Do please like and subscribe to We Are Tottenham TV. Put some comments in there. It all helps the channel. Thank you very much for joining us. And as always, come on you Spurs.